I was digging through the old swipe file earlier this week, found a few video sales letters that I decided to jump in, watch, take notes on. These are offers that they aren't being made anymore. These are videos I downloaded that gurus that have very strong name brand value published to sell their stuff back in the day. This is how awkwardly geeky I really am. And this is kind of one of my forms of entertainment, is to look back through the catalog of video sales letters and written sales letters and study them and look at their hook and analyze what they did and think about why did they do it the way they did it, and on and on and on and on. One of the big ideas or the hooks from in one of these video sales letters was all around this amateur versus professional concept. And in their video sales letter, they were saying that amateurs are people who waste all day, every day, posting content for free. Dude, pretty much called creators amateurs. And I don't necessarily agree with that. His point was to contrast the professional like him, that for $2,000 he was very willing to teach you how to be a professional like him, that professionals use paid ads, amateurs use free content marketing. And his justification for this was that the only way you can build a dependable business that you can scale mathematically, the only way that you can completely control the growth of your company, which means that's when you're professionals, when you can completely control the growth of your company. And the only way to do that is to master paid ads. Because then you can mathematically put X in and get Y out the other side. If you put in less money than you get out, you're hashtag winning. Voila, enter the expensive pitch. Now, I don't agree with him. I think it was a pretty good bit, which is why I'm leveraging the idea for you here today. But I do think it's more nuanced, and I think you will be better served knowing an honest framework for this concept of amateur versus professional. So you can either A, reinforce, I am doing those right things like a professional, or B, you might be able to self-identify and be like, ooh, I'm doing the amateurish things. I'm getting amateurish results. What do I do? What do I shift? And it's boom, you do the professional things. And then you just apply time. Because, I mean, I've built multiple creator-based businesses with free traffic sources that are doing extremely well. So I'm living proof. And I have dozens of friends who have followed a very similar path who are doing very well for themselves. Givenchy with his swimming pool website, right? Epic Gardenings, Expert Photography. Like, these are huge businesses that were all built by people who were just willing to start publishing useful content. So my take on this is that it really comes down to whether you're getting paid enough money to cover your lifestyle. And I'm talking all of it: your rent, your mortgage, your food, your family, your insurance, investments, travel, and on and on and on, right? Are you earning enough to cover everything in your lifestyle comfortably based on the content, the brand, the business that you've built and published online? That's it. You know, I don't think it's negative for someone who's on video number 14 deciding they're going to publish a 90-day challenge on YouTube. And they're not making any money yet. They're not monetized yet, but they're committed. They're on the path they're going. Like, that's okay to call that person an amateur. They've only made 13 or 14 videos. Same with bloggers. If you're on blog post number 38 and you haven't made your first dollar yet, or maybe you're on blog post 45 and you've made your first $10, congratulations. It's okay to know and to acknowledge that, you know, I'm in a learning curve here. I'm learning new skills. I'm learning how to do research. I'm learning how to do keyword research. I'm learning how to outline posts based on search engine optimization. Learning the nuances of SEO by doing. When you're in all of those learning curves, you're an amateur. You're learning it. Perfect. And when you're leveraging those skills that we all just have to learn by doing, when you're leveraging those skills to earn enough money to pay for your lifestyle, you're pro. And my goal is to help you just speed up the process. Truth be told, I don't like to be bad at things. I'm actually bad at surfing. Like prone surfing, where you like lay down on the board. I'm bad at it. I don't enjoy doing it. And I'm bad at it because I've never moved in next to a surf break, bought a board, and surfed every day for like 2 years. Snowboarding, on the other hand, I got through that being bad at it phase. I showed up enough times. At one point, I was living on Ski Way in Incline Village, Nevada, which is on the north shore of Lake Tahoe. I would walk out my front door, fully geared up in my snowboard gear, and I had a shuttle stop across the street from my house. And that shuttle stop took us all the way up to Diamond Peak Ski Resort. Had a season pass, walked out just full of a homemade Americano, caffeine ready to take me to the top of that mountain, and we could kind of duck the lines and snowboard almost all the way home. If we were coming home before they plowed the streets, we could literally snowboard back to our place from a major resort. And it's a small resort in Tahoe. It's a fun place, steep. And they got dumped on. So we went 110 days that year, wife and I did. And that's heavy snow. It's difficult conditions. Tahoe, you get 3 feet in a couple days. You know, we got like 9 feet in a week type snow. It really challenged us. But the other side of that, we can handle everything our mountaineers bringing to us. We're getting 8 inches last night. I got 40 inches of snow piled up in my driveway on the parts I haven't snow blown. Right? We just got 5 more inches overnight again. It's awesome out. And it's not challenging to go run the runs because we did enough time sucking at it to get skills to where we're now competent in powder here. It's worth honoring the learning curves. It's impossible to gain competence without going through the learning curves. So I embrace doing it quickly and effectively. But this is where the mindset of the amateur sabotages that individual's growth and progress. The internal dialogue or the mental conversation. Because it, right, the ego mind, is not okay with how long it takes to gain competence. The ego mind is perpetually frustrated with how long this is taking. Guru Boy said it was going to be easy. Building a business online to professional levels seems to be challenging. Okay. So amateurs often spend more time looking for shortcuts instead of doing the work. They're playing with new tools. They're testing new processes. They're just like buying into the guru pitches of there's an easy button. I have the secret. Pay me lots of money and I'll teach you the secret of the easy button. Oh yeah, it just isn't actually what they say it is, but they got the money out. They got the money from you, so they win. Haha, jokes on you. So amateurs spend more time looking for shortcuts instead of doing the work. Professionals show up day in, day out, morning in, morning out, whether they want to or not, and they focus on publishing. A lot of the content has to do with growing the audience, proving that we can help others by actually helping them. Crazy idea, I know. When I decided to go all in on publishing YouTube videos, I was going to A, teach everything that I know in video format to create a library of useful content. B, I was going to do that as fast as I could so I could be done with it. We're now on the I'm done with it side. And not only did I create a library of searchable content that still brings in new people to my ecosystem daily, but I've sprinkled throughout, and here's the other thing that professionals do, I've sprinkled out calls to action in my videos that invite people into multi-step experiences. I'm growing my email list. A video is just a video. But when the video offers the affiliate marketing crash course that I have for free, and people are then like, ooh, this video was really good, I'm ready to get started. Let me go through that crash course. And then they're on my opt-in page, and then they convert, and then they go to their inbox, and then they go get the access to the Miles Beckler Academy where their course is laid out. It's like a 9 or an 11 module course. Bingo. So instead of looking for answers from gurus, I was coming up with my best educated guess, also known as making it up as I go, on what I think the most useful path through content is for someone to learn affiliate marketing. And I crafted a multi-step experience to help those people on YouTube who are ambitious enough and who are really committed to solving this bigger problem of, I want to build money online. I want to make passive income, residual income. I want to make money online through affiliate marketing. All they're finding is pitches. So I go help those people through this multi-step experience. Here's a pro tip. That first multi-step experience I built sucked. The one that I have now that's converting really well and it's working really well, that's like my 5th try. And I've been doing this for 20 years. And it took me 5 tries. Like, you would think I would get it right maybe on the 3rd or 4th. No. Me, a gentleman who brought a decade plus of professional level skills of this game to this niche, it still took me 5 tries. It might take you more. So are you spending your time reading the income reports of the gurus for a little dopamine? Or are you doing the work? Are you spending time watching what successful people are doing on social or what they're talking about on social? Or are you doing the work? And I should probably have another word before amateur, right? Like the novice. And they're not even actually trying. But the amateurs are people who are committed and they're actually publishing. And the real key is like spending a lot of your time publishing things that help other people so you can get good at helping others, because that's where all of the money is. It's through being of service at scale. A lot of what professionals do is, studying, researching, learning more about our audiences, your goals, your habits, your fears, your desires. Now, having lived the life of customer support representative, $50,000 in student loan debt, absolutely hating my life, working my butt off with my wife nights and weekends for years to build the skills and the competence needed to break through amateur level into pro grade level, okay? I lived it, so I don't spend all that much time researching my audience. I read a lot of the comments and I engage with people. I have friends who are in unique niches, or acquaintances, we should call them. I know gentlemen who spend incredible amounts of money on Facebook ads for women's makeup products, those dudes do a lot more research. Okay, they're in the forums reading the conversations. They're really learning the language patterns of the people because they're not the people. And if you kind of like zoom out a little bit on this amateur versus professional concept, you'll see that it's actually one spectrum with novice and people who don't even know what we're doing, right? They don't even have a inkling of making money online. They just consume content all day, every day. Okay, that's on one side of the spectrum. And then people who send 2 or 3 emails a day and record 1 or 2 things per week and make millions of dollars per year, we'll put them on the other side of the spectrum. And somewhere in there, there's this point, and it moves for every person, of professional. Because your lifestyle, your rent, your mortgage, your food, your family, your insurance, your investments, your travel, like the amount of money you spend in general, how many times a week you go eat out, how many meals at home you cook, like all of these little variables that are 100% you, well, that is your number you have to clear. That's your monthly nut. If you're living a $14,000 per month lifestyle, that's a really big nut. It's going to take a really big web-based business to cover that, to get you to bridge the gap from amateur to professional. If you're living a $3,500 per month lifestyle, it's going to be a easier hurdle to overcome. So that's one variable that you are able to control. And then what do you do with your time? How are you spending your time is the other variable that you have 100% control over. This is not to say that you don't have things on your calendar that require your time and attention, but everyone has times on their calendar that it's optional what we do with those hours. Looking for shortcuts, looking for answers from gurus, reading income reports, watching successful people live their life and vlogs and these kinds of things are consuming the time and energy that professionals use to publish. And the professionals are spending their time helping others through useful content. Could be videos, could be podcasts, could be blog posts. Useful content targeting keywords and ideas that we know our audience is trying to solve. We're just creating the solutions and the answers they're looking for. Then we create multi-step experiences. We're inviting the most ambitious people who engage with that first level of content. We're inviting them in to our inner circle, onto our email list, and obviously into courses and into things that generate cash flow as well. And that's a big part of what we pros do. We spend time scheming up new product offerings. Sometimes it's an old product with a new angle. Sometimes it's a totally new product. Sometimes it's testing an audio product instead of a PDF product. We're thinking up and crafting these kind of new types of multi-step experiences and new offers, trying to find those things that our audience really already wants to buy. Because when you offer something that people already want to buy, like it's really easy. The transaction happens. Like you don't have to, there's no sleazy selling, and copywriting gets really easy when you actually promote and sell the thing they already want to buy. And that's where studying, researching, learning more about the audience, their goals, their habits, where are they hanging out, what are the trending software tools they're all talking about in these little, that's what we pros do, is we try to go analyze through the noise in the webosphere. What are people buying already? What do they love? What are the things that they absolutely love? Because I'll just go promote what the audience loves, and that just makes my life really easy. And the best part of all of it is that this is just, it's a gigantic business built on being of service at scale. The cell phone you have is enough to connect you to billions of people. Between Facebook, Google, and YouTube alone, like those 3 things alone, you're talking 4 to 5 billion people. Facebook was something near 3 billion monthly active users. YouTube's like 2 billion monthly active users. Google's bigger than both of them combined, right? And there are so many people in this world right now looking for ways to get help. Their lives are getting more challenging. Health in our, at least the Western world, seems to be challenging more and more people as time goes on. People need help, mindset help. The amount of anxiety that's just floating around in our world these days, the amount of fear that's just floating around in our world these days, people are paralyzed. The utter addictions to things like, I don't know, cell phones, booze, like also rampant in our world. So you just look around the world and it's like, man, okay, a whole lot of people need a whole lot of help. I'm one of them. You're one of them. Everybody in this world. And this is a cool part about being alive today, is we have the ability to go help people. And something energetically shifts when we are spending our time creating and helping people. It's a good vibe. You get in the flow state. It feels good to do good work in this world and to get positive accolades and feedbacks in the comment. And it can also be extremely profitable and lucrative when you're intelligent about it. Leveraging a platform and an algorithm to grow an audience is a great way to grow an audience, but you don't want to stop there because they could pull the rug out from under you. That's why we get into building an email list, all the stuff I talk about. So you got to build an email list too. Now you got to learn how to do those things. Yep. This is why there's a process to go from amateur to professional. That's why it takes people, on average, 3 to 5 years to go from novice to professional. It took me like 10. It took me a very long time. Because there was literally no one teaching this stuff for free. This is why I have no ads running on any of my YouTube videos. This is why you didn't listen to an annoying pre-roll ad before this podcast. This is me understanding where you are a little bit. Because I lived it. No one would teach me this stuff for free. And when anybody kind of sort of taught me for free, it was mixed in with all these ads and pitches and promos. And there was a lot of annoying BS to get through to understand the one little idea that I needed to go get back to work and become more effective. Today, I don't watch any of that junk. I create, I play, I make sure I maintain my energy, lots of exercise, lots of great food, prepared from scratch in the kitchen, Dave Beckler. Because that's what I do. That's how I build the energy to be ready and willing to show up to be of service to you and the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. So I got a lot of leverage on my side as a pro. And the amateur is having to crank the flywheel and there's no leverage. It's like anti-leverage. There's resistance at every point in the beginning. But when you crank that flywheel enough, you get it going enough, your audience just keeps growing because of the platform you've been building on. Your list just keeps growing because of those multi-step experiences you've built and the calls to action that are in all your content. And you got 500, 600 pieces of content out there. And the byproduct of all that teaching is that you're really, really good at helping people now. And you're really, really good at explaining that thing. So at this point, with all that momentum behind you, you can make an incredible amount of money sending a few emails per week and dropping a couple of pieces of content per week. It's true. I'm living it. Took me a decade plus to figure this out. I had some good start and stops. I made a bunch of money and lost it all quite a few times on that 10-year phase. But to figure out the way to build multiple streams of cash flow that are residual and recurring, that can cover rent, mortgages, food, family insurance, all of it. Plus donations, like all of it comes in every month, whether I work or not. And I want to keep that going and I want it to keep expanding. So I'm just going to do a few emails a week and a few pieces of content per week. I want you to get here. That is the point of this, and I hope it has come off that way, because that is my intention behind this. And until you can clearly see in your mind's eye you living like a professional, because you are just actively doing the work all day, every day with a smile on your face, having fun, managing your energy in other ways to make sure you're just rocking and rolling day in, day out, being of service, helping people. It's awesome. When you can see yourself doing that, then you'll have a moment when you're maybe looking for a shortcut, you're on some greedy guru webinar, you're thinking about some new fancy pants AI shortcut software tool that's like a brand new thought that would distract you from just following through on building skills. And you have this new vision of your life, of you as a professional. You can be like, that doesn't fit in the vision. You can let it go and get back to work, because that does fit in the vision. And that is the path. Look around. Everybody who's making really, really good money, pro level money, with great lifestyle freedoms, they've got an audience, they've got an email list, they got offers they send. And they all got a story about how goddamn long it took them. All of them. Even though that one sales letter, they happen to tell you that 1 3-month window where a fucking miracle happened, and now they're selling their absolute outlier anomaly of an outcome, the miracle. They've now put it into a system, and somehow it's going to work for you too. No, they got lucky. The amateur T-ball kids somehow got a base hit off the pro pitcher, and they're now packaging that thing up into a $2,000 course for you. Nope. When I finally learned that that's not the way, that's not how people build real businesses online, it's not through those courses. Not that they can't help. But the biggest thing that 99.999% of people on this earth can do is to craft more useful content that's being of service to an audience, to publish more effectively to get that algo to fall in love, to grow your list more effectively, and to scheme up, craft, find, and make more offers that your audience wants to buy. It helps you as a business. When those things that you promote actually help your people get the outcomes they want in their lives, it helps them. It is the total ultimate win-win-win. And once built, not just the library of content, but your skills, it's both of them that you're building. Once both of those things are built, that's when you have what you need to transition into professional. At that point, it is about being really strategic about the flow of the individual, which products make the most money, your average order value, leveraging ways to increase your AOV, like bumps, ups, all these little bits and pieces become relevant then. It all fits. ATM. Audience, trust, monetization. TLC. Traffic, list, customers. I'm not going to make up one funny new fancy acronym and run it like it's a $2,000 course, because I don't have to. I'm just going to help you find a mental framework that works for you so you can hook onto it and be like, yep, I'm committed. I am done being a novice. I am going to do professional things right now, even though I am an amateur, and I know that this is the fastest way for me to condense down the amount of time it takes for me to get to professional level income with my internet business. And then you're going to do the work. And at some point, you might need to unsubscribe from every marketer in the world because you're busy doing the work. And at some point, you might need to put on the headphones on Audible, get yourself an Audible subscription, and start going through Wayne Dyer and Jim Rohn and all the greats of personal development. Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor. Some of the stuff's cheesy as. I get it. It's like I got some weird old uncle who's just explaining to me the way the world works. Well, great. Some very valuable mental models, because when you're on that path of doing professional work aggressively, consistently as an amateur, okay, you're doing pro grade work, but you're earning like an amateur. That's a very difficult place to be. That's the pit of despair. The ego can chime up, and the ego can be like, well, I'm putting in all this work and I'm doing all this stuff and I ain't getting nothing for it. That's when people get to the maybe I'm doing something wrong. And then you see the ad on Facebook, and it's the guru saying like, oh, are you working on your business and it's not working for you? You're like, fuck, I am. Yeah, let me watch this. He's got this. Boom, you're lost. Gone. All that momentum just deflates. Now they're inserting doubt into your mind through their video sales letter or their pre-recorded webinar that they're faking like it's real, like a chump. And they're just planting seeds of doubt. And your ego gnaws on that doubt. And then the only way to rectify that doubt is to buy their $2,000 thing. But if your ass ain't on social media at all because you're a pro, you wouldn't have seen the ad. If you unsubscribe from all their emails because you're a pro, you wouldn't have seen the pitch. You just wouldn't see it. Wouldn't come into your wavelength. If all you're doing is researching, crafting the best content and experiences and offers for your people, what is that? Notepad, paper, whiteboard? Cool. I can do it with my computer completely disconnected from the internet. When you're all in on that and just all in on going forward, all that other stuff just disappears. Ain't no gurus in my inbox. I don't know about pitches. I don't care about pitches. I don't need those pitches. You know what I need to do? Keep showing up for you. Help you make the transition in your life that you want to make. Help you get to being a professional. And if you're a pro, then let's fucking scale this thing. Let's get you to where you're making so much money that you are literally donating to all the things in your local community or the international community that you hold dear to your heart. We can make this world a better place by helping others. And we have the tools so we can go forth and be of service at scale. It's a magical time. Join me. Come over to the professional side. It takes a few years of consistent effort. You can get there. Mindset is key. I'll put together some book list here in one of these future episodes, but anything by Nightingale Conant that tickles your fancy, or getting some Wayne Dyer. The dude was onto some stuff. Right? Learn how to live a happy, fun, beautiful life while you're building a business that can kick out cash flow that can support a beautiful, wonderful, happy life. I'm going to call it. Thanks for hanging.